Around the bases with us, we have a lot to say.
Yeah, we got a lot to say here. Let's talk about what happened over the weekend in Kansas City. The Guardians did take 2 of 3 from the Royals, including winning yesterday.
Whoa!
But Emmanuel Clase's encounter with Jonathan India raised some eyebrows, went up and in, and then ended up getting him. And you see India had to leave the game. Listen to what Vinny Pasquantino had to say afterwards.
I watched him get hit in the face. And he threw a pitch that he doesn't ever throw, the pitch before, which was a four-seam fastball. It was his first one of the year. And then the next pitch, they, trying to come back up and in with the next pitch. And I get it, you're trying to let a pitch ride, and it didn't. And it hit him right in the face after almost hitting him in the face the pitch before. So obviously I'm upset by it. I know there wasn't any intent behind it, but felt like there was no adjustment made there, and that's frustrating.
It's scary. I'm kind of on Vinny's side. You expect Emmanuel with his exploding stuff. I mean, he seems to be down in his zone with everything. That won't be forgotten.
Yeah, I'm with you. Usually his ball's always cutting.
Yeah.
Left side. You don't see him run the ball in like that. That's scary.
Somebody will get it in August.
Guardians in San Diego to take on the Padres beginning Tuesday.
You know what? We've been consumed by runs the past few days, and it starts at the top. We talk a lot about the evolution of the leadoff hitter. Over the years, we've seen anyone from Kyle Schwarber to George Springer, Jarren Duran, Goldie leading off. What is the goal right now in your mind, Tom?
Get your best hitter to the plate as often as possible. It's not simple. I mean, look at the way Ohtani took off last year when they put him in the leadoff spot. Francisco Lindor. We're seeing Matt Wallner. We're seeing Cowser. We're seeing these guys 6'3", 220 pounds leading off. It's all about making sure they get that fifth plate appearance late in the game.
Goldie led off the other day.
Mm-hmm. First time ever.
The first guy I saw do this, and I'm sure it was done previous to this, was when A.J. Hinch stuck George Springer in the leadoff spot for the Astros. Kind of in that 16-17 run. And it was like, remember we asked him? I'll never forget.
He said, I want to punch him in the mouth.
He said, I want to punch my opponent in the mouth. He's the highest energy guy. He's got huge pop. It could be 1-0. And talking to Brian McCann about it as a catcher, he goes, when I first came up in the league, it used to be a situation where no one was swinging at that first pitch, steal a strike, get into the flow of the game, and then you look at Ronald Acuña's leading off. It's like, if I throw a cookie heater, it's 1-0.
Tatis thriving in that spot, too.
Yeah, you talk about cookies. Ronaldo Lopez the other day throws 93, usually 95, 96. It's getting you over fastball.
Got him.
Tatis is in the box, hits it out. I mean, this guy loves hitting leadoff. I love what Mike Schilt is doing, getting back in the leadoff position.
Grief.
Look at these numbers leading off. Slugging over 600. It's actually the best all time for leadoff hitters. If you look at the highest slugging percentage at leadoff, you see how many of these guys are active, right? This is kind of a modern convenience, if you will, to get a home run hitter in the box to start the game. Yes, you're getting up there with nobody on base to start, but what I love about Tatis, too, there's that pitch. You can't throw him a get-me-over pitch. I'm sorry. But a lot of pitchers do that, as you said, Dero.
Yep.
He's ready to hit as soon as he steps in the box. His athleticism in the box, not just on the field, in the box, is so unusually great. I look at him hit. He hits different ways. This is back in 21, right? He hits with a neutral stance. Got a little bit of a leg kick there. Had the year suspension, comes back the next year. Now he's going to open up his stance a little bit. Kind of drifts into the baseball, right? That's in 23. We saw him last year now at 24. And again, he's going to be different. Watch the toe tap here. But the way he gets the barrel to the ball is almost as if it doesn't even matter. Then I see him this year, starting at the first pitch. He's got a wide open stance, which we had not seen before. Not quite as weird as Tony Batista. Not quite that extreme.
No, that guy was special.
But Nando's one of these guys, man. You think about athleticism, you think about on the base in the field. He's athletic in the batter's box.
What does that look like? What does athletic in the box look like?
Watch his feet, Lauren. Because watch his feet. He's got that
body awareness.
Movement,
he's got that scissor kick thing, and he's never off balance. There's a lot going on, but the balance there is perfect.
Yeah. So, Dero, the Padres sweep the Braves. They're 4-0. Only the second time in team history that they've started a season 4-0. The last time, 1984. Oh, by the way, that team went to the World Series. Takeaways from the Padres, and then also your thoughts on the Braves.
I'm just interested to see where the Padres go as the season progresses, Tom. This is a team that could scare a lot of people, but we were hearing whispers they were looking to move Dylan Cease or Michael King. So it's like you're sending me mixed signals. The one guy who got on the mound that they signed in the offseason, his deal's kind of bizarre, $3 million signing.
Pivetta?
Yeah. He was phenomenal last night.
Yeah, I tell you what, I'm glad you brought it up. Ruben Navel, the pitching coach, does a great job. If you watch Pivetta here, look where he is on the mound. He's on the first base side.
Yeah.
He had been on the third base side of the rubber, which didn't make sense to me because he's a north-south pitcher.
Yeah.
He pitches four-seamers and breaking balls.
Night.
So as a guy who pitches north-south, you want all your pitches to be competitive on the plate. You force swing decisions up and down, not by creating angles. So him being on the side actually worked against him. And, man, it showed in that first start with San Diego. He looked amazing.
And for the Braves, don't panic yet. You're going to go up to L.A., which, by the way, the Dodgers are going to go 120-42.
Stop it right now.
Listen, I'm serious. Sasaki had basically no command the other night. He went an inning and a third. He came out. Jack Dreyer comes in. You heard of Jack Dreyer?
Yeah.
And gives them length, and then all of them, boom, 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 here we go, and they find a way.
So you're fine with don't panic in the Braves. Or what's the message there?
The offense has got to get going. They've obviously all gotten off to slow starts. This happens to one team every year. The thing that my takeaway is that they threw the heck out of the ball, too. Spencer Schwellenbach is
really
a
good
force.
Also, your schedule, starting with the Padres and Dodgers, is no easy task.
That's a great point, Lauren.
I just feel like with the Braves, I'm going to say this, and I'm probably going to get killed on X for it, but I feel it. We lauded Alex Anthopoulos for giving these guys these deals, locking them all up. But they all kind of had so most of them have a World Series. Most of them are rich. Like, what's the motivation? Somebody in that room has got to be like uncle on this, playing with like all of us thinking we're the greatest thing. Let's get after it. They're super talented, right? Let's not wait for Ronald Acuna to come back and save us. Let's kick it.
I think what the Padres did in this short window here, they exposed the offense and the vulnerability the Braves had. They're extremely aggressive. They swing and miss a lot. They hit 083 against breaking pitches in this series. And you think when you see Vasquez, you see Pivetta, you see Cease, ton of breaking stuff out of the zone, you're going to get this team to chase. So I think good pitching can shut down this team that relies so much on the home run that if you keep them in the park, the ball's not going to be in play a lot. I think, listen, I'm not going to make a determination on whether they're in trouble or not, but I think these are the kind of stats, if you pitch like this, you can expose the Braves offense.
Braves and Dodgers, as Lauren mentioned, tonight it is Holmes and Glasnow. And before we say goodbye to Tom, just to put a bow.
Do I know you were doing that?
Just to put a bow on what we began the segment with, Jonathan India is in the lineup this afternoon as the Royals take on Milwaukee. The Brewers have their home opener this afternoon, just after 1 o'clock local time.
Look at this. All eyes on DeGrom. A look inside his start. It is nice to see him on a big league mound, that's for sure. Jake D-Rowe has always said, when he's right, there's no one better, right? How does he balance staying healthy with throwing a billion? Robert was saying 95, 96. What do you think?
He's throwing simulated BP when he's right.
Yeah, no, look, when he is right, D-Rowe, I don't know of anybody better. And in the last 10 or so years watching him, when he's right, executing, it's game over for the opposition. And that's just the truth. When we know this. If pitchers go out and execute, it's their game to win or lose. And look, I think what shocks me, or stands out here, not shocks me, is that DeGrom in spring training talked about, hey, look, I'm going to go back to 96 to 98 and not exhaust every option. Let's go to this board and we'll show you what he's talking about. But when Jacob DeGrom was winning Cy Youngs back in 2018 and 2019, look at the velocity, 95, 96 miles an hour. Now, as it gets to 2020, it starts ticking up through 24. He couldn't stay healthy. You come back to yesterday, you see it back down and around where he should be in the years he stayed healthy. And look, he's won Cy Youngs there. So the increase in velocity, it helped a bit.
Is that hard to do?
Look,
dumb it down a little bit. It just seems like to me he's not a max effort guy. It's like Jesus has blessed him with a bullwhip.
I don't know many guys who aren't max effort.
Right?
You are letting it eat to the best of your ability almost every time out. And most pitchers I knew were doing that. And look, let's just go to some video and I'll show you what the video looked like of Jacob DeGrom in Cy Young form. And in those years, this is 2019, but 97 miles an hour plays just fine. Right here, you see even having pinpoint control. That's the key.
97 to a hitter's still a blur.
There's 23, and you're starting to see these hundreds, right? With Texas, he's 101. Oh, Lord, this is electric. Nobody can hit it. But can he stay healthy? No, we had our second Tommy John surgery when he was out there. And now you're looking at yesterday, again, the 97, 96.9, I think was what he averaged yesterday, is just fine. Now let me show you something new. We'll stop this tape. We talked about velocity coming back down. This is new. The slider, 61.3% Sunday. When something is good, D-Rowe, you ride it.
Yeah.
This slider that Jacob DeGrom was featuring was absolutely unhittable if you're a right-handed batter. Left-handers too, but watch this to righties. We're gonna go to the tape and I'll show you. This is almost like a cutter to me. That's a cutter. You can call it a slider, and he is getting around it a bit, but this is unhittable. This ball's
You're not taking that. For people at home, I used to call my dad after games. He'd be like, why do you keep swinging at that? I'm telling you, it's a heater.
Well, and these are strikes,
You
too.
see heater, bottom down, and then it disappears.
Well, and you're seeing, too, righties typically have a hard time with left-handers. All these left-handers, because of the depth, are swinging over the top of the heaters. And you see right here, this is the usage to left-handers. The slider is coming back down to where it was in the Cy Young years. You're getting away from using it too much. You can't use it too much to those lefties. And then look, why it come back down on Sunday is because the changeup came back into play.
Yeah.
Run this tape, and now when you start looking at Jacob DeGrom go the second time through the lineup, he started introducing this changeup. There it is right there. Oh, what's going on? Having some problems, but this is what.
We're back.
Struck out Duran on a good at bat, went right back to it with Devers, fastball slider, and then you do
throwing
this.
right on right changeup, and it almost seems like, and that was just me watching the video, I didn't see this before, it's like he's tightened up his With the Mets, it was almost like he was like creating all this energy, and now he's getting a little shorter.
Well, I'll tell you this. We can dive into it because Mike Maddox over there, he's with some of the best pitching guys I know in the game. And Chris Young, certainly his general manager, knows a lot about this. What I love to see is we've got to keep this guy healthy. Texas knows this. You run this Texas team into the playoffs with a healthy DeGrom and Evaldi, with Jack and
He's
Rocker.
win day. Nobody hits him.
That's right. That's what I'm saying. When he goes out there and does what he does, so what do we have to do? Figure out a way to keep him out there. I love the fact that he's pulled back on velocity. He goes, you know what? I could probably throw 100 miles an hour, but I'm not going to do it. 96, 97 plays, and then I can play a little bit with my percentages. The slider is so good that 61%, it was more than he threw the fastball, was the slider. And then when you start worrying that he's a two-pitch guy, he's throwing in what they call a curveball that's 10 or so miles an hour off that fastball, and then the changeup is the absolute equalizer. When you throw it right on right, you have no chance versus this guy.
Yeah.
Keep him healthy, Texas. You got a good shot.